Hi, my name is Janelle and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different than what I normally do because this is a series that I want to start on my channel, and this is going to be the first video of that series, and it's going to be called TBH. And basically this series is just various videos of me just venting pretty much about certain topics. Depending on the topic of the video, I will vent about it. So today's topic for our first ever video for the TBH series is going to be the holidays freak me out. The holidays usually, when you say the holidays, it usually means Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So when I say holidays, that's what I'm referring to. Thanksgiving, not fond of it at all. But I do love Christmas, believe it or not. I love this time of year. I love the vibes. I love the festivities. I love when it starts feeling cold because I live in Florida and it rarely gets cold. And just feeling like a little bit of coolness in the air just gets me so excited and just gets me into the spirit. And I love feeling festive and merry and doing festive activities. I love this time of year. I love embracing it. I love decorating for it. So I'm pretty much just all in with this holiday. Christmas, not so much Thanksgiving. New Year's, don't get me started. But I just had like a really bad experience at a party once for New Year's, and I haven't been the same since, I'm not gonna lie. So I won't get into much details, but I just hate the New Year's now. And I also hate that it reminds me of how much time I've wasted, or like, there's a new year, you have to improve, you have to do better, but like I felt like I didn't do anything the previous year. Like I didn't do anything productive or anything. I don't know, it brings about regrets, and it just brings about PTSD for me. So New Year's is never pleasant for me. It hasn't been pleasant for quite some time. So I do have a love-hate relationship with the holidays because I love Christmas time. The thing that freaks me out the most about the holidays is the social aspect. You might be wondering why that freaks me out. Well, if you must know, I struggle with social anxiety. So it's already hard enough for me to just do things in public on a daily basis. So having the addition of having to go to parties and pretending to be, mentally well, just being superficial at a party and just pretending, oh yeah, I'm fine, just fake smiling and just like trying to act like I have everything together. It can be draining. Parties are not my thing. Like I understand if you love parties, if it's your thing, if you enjoy it, good for you. But for me, I don't like them. I really dread them. Parties to me are like life or death. So that should tell you how unpleasant they are for me and how unbearable they are. The social anxiety will never really truly go away, but it's just a matter of learning to live with it, and I'm grateful that I have the tools I need to improve, At this moment that I'm filming, I actually just came from a party, our Thanksgiving party. So yeah, I was able to survive. Like, yeah, I didn't really enjoy the party as much. Like, yeah, it was okay. Like, I'm glad I got through it. But like, did I enjoy it? Did I have fun? Not really. Like, I was just trying to get through the situation. Will I be going to future holiday parties? Probably not, if I'm being honest. But I'm proud of myself for today. So as long as I'm making progress, I was initiating conversations and I was putting myself out there. So I'm proud of myself. Yeah, I guess holidays in a way are a good thing because it kind of forces me to socialize, but at the same time, I dread it so much and it gives me so much anxiety. Yeah, the most wonderful time of the year? No, the most anxiety-ridden time of the year for me. I want to add this. I also very much dreading the parties, especially during this time of my life, because I'm still figuring everything out. And it doesn't help when a bunch of people keep asking you, what are you doing now? What are you doing? What is this? What's your plan? Da 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 da. Just getting a bombardment of all those questions. No, thank you. My ideal holidays would just be like spending time with just people I'm comfortable with and just having intimate like get-togethers and just, being cozy. I can just be myself. Ideal situation. The reality is it's just a part of my culture, And the people in my culture are just very festive and very much like to gather, have big get-togethers and constant parties. Holidays are just a time for parties, 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 parties. It's a given. And for someone with social anxiety, no. So a part of me, I don't know, a part of me just feels like the best way to deal with this situation is just to treat it like any other day, because sometimes when I choose not to go to parties, right, I do get a sense of FOMO, but like I don't regret my decision, but I do feel like I'm missing out, and I just try to tell myself it's just any other day, just any other ordinary day. That's how my mind tries to configure it so that I don't feel those negative emotions. You know, seeing it as any other day sometimes works. Like sometimes I do that for my birthday. I just don't want it to feel like my birthday because I don't want to feel like I have any expectations of how my day is supposed to go. It's like, oh, I should be doing something special on that day because it's my birthday. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing that instead. Like I just have, you know, a bunch of feelings because it's like, oh, I'm not doing what I should be doing, I feel like. And I guess maybe social media has a effect on that. Like, oh, you should be doing this on your birthday, or you should be doing this during the holidays. But I'm not doing those things. So that's why sometimes what works for me is just treating the holidays like it's not any special day. It really can be helpful in, you know, deterring those negative emotions and feelings that I experience. Technically, it is just another weekday or weekend, but obviously there's a title to it, so that kind of, you know, when you think about the title, it kind of like influences your thoughts and like your expectations. I mean, that's how it is for me. Like I hear title like, oh, it's Christmas, Christmas Eve, it's New Year's Eve, it's New Year's. And it gives me like the expectation, or it gives me the mindset of like, oh, I should be doing this. I should be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. Like I shouldn't be just sitting at home lounging around. But what, who cares? What if that's what makes me happy? What if that makes me comfortable? Then why shouldn't I be doing that, you know? But like sometimes the expectations of society or the internet, it's kind of like, oh, you should be out partying on New Year's Eve. You should be out partying on New Year's. Like those type of things, you know, can really impact your mental health. So, because honestly, if I choose to go to the parties, even though I do feel like I'm being left out or I feel FOMO, but if I choose to go to the parties, I end up feeling more alone at the parties than I do at home. So it's just like, it's just worse if I end up going to the parties. Like I know some people might think that doesn't make sense, but for me it does. Because like even today, like I was trying to like socialize and to be part of the groups and whatnot, but I just felt lonely. Even though I was surrounded by people, I just felt so lonely. But I just tried to stick through with it, and I tried not to think much about it. And yeah, I got through it, but like it's not the greatest feeling in the world. Not gonna lie, just because I choose to not go to a party doesn't mean that I don't feel lonely. Um, but I'd rather feel lonely on my own than being surrounded by a bunch of people and feeling even lonelier. Because that's just the worst feeling in the world. It feels so much worse when you're lonely in a crowd. I end up feeling more alone going to the parties than if I were to just stay at home and be in my own company. So that's why I you know, if I'm given the choice, I tend to just try to stay home, because it's just way better for my mental health, and it's just way better for my overall well-being, honestly. And you know, some people may agree to disagree. Some people might just not agree with my sentiment, but that's just how I feel. I feel like Thanksgiving, there's not much pressure, but definitely like Christmas and New Year's, there's definitely like pressure on what you should be doing. You know, you shouldn't be alone during the holidays. I hear that a lot. Like, you shouldn't be alone on the holidays. I hear that so much, especially in like Christmas movies and whatnot. They're like, don't, you shouldn't be alone. Like, but what if I want to spend it alone, you know? Like, who are you to judge? Who are you to say what I can do? But at the same time, I end up putting that on myself, because it's like, oh, there's that expectation. You should be like doing this. You should be doing that. But in reality, you can do what you want, honestly. And keep in mind, there is a difference between being lonely and being alone. I just want to put that out there, because Just because you're alone doesn't mean that you're lonely. You can enjoy your own company and you can take time for yourself and do activities that you enjoy on your own. If you're like me, if you're an introvert, we really treasure that time alone. Obviously, extroverts are the opposite. They get energy, they get all of that from socialization. But us introverts, we really cherish our times alone. Obviously, we don't want to constantly be alone because then we feel lonely. And when we feel lonely, we need social connection. It's because we're human. So that's the difference. Lonely is the feeling of when you lack social connections and you need to communicate with someone. And being alone just means that you're just in your own company. Doesn't mean that you feel lonely, but you're just alone and doing your own thing and you're just taking time for yourself. And there is that difference to make. Like, I think New Year's is the loneliest out of the three. Out of Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, New Year's is like the loneliest one for me. And seeing people, you know, on the TV when you're watching the countdown, it just makes you feel left out. So my favorite is Christmas. My least favorite is New Year's. So I'm sorry if you didn't enjoy this type of video, but I just felt the need to rant and vent. So if you stuck through to the end, I appreciate you. The TBH series might trickle in here and there. I might not be consistently doing this type of series, but it is going to be, I guess, an established series on my channel. So I'll be doing similar content like this in later future videos. So if you'd like to stick around, I'd really appreciate it. If you'd like to support me, I'd really be grateful. So that's it for me. That's it for now, and I'll see you all when I figure it out. Bye!